Hey everybody, and how's it going? Today we have this weed eater feather light that's been obviously neglected a little bit, and I want to see if I can turn some trash into treasure today. So our first order of business is obviously this pull start here. I mean, it works, it has compression, but obviously the piston and cylinder need to be lubricated, but it doesn't go in all the way sometimes, so I have to do a pull start job. And for that, on this one, we gotta take the bottom off. So, let's get to it. Yep, it's metric. Pop all these bolts out, and we're gonna have to take the fan out too. Just to see if we can get to the pull start from there. Now I know a little bit about these blowers. I've worked on a few of them before, but not too often. So we'll see. There's one in the middle here, and two on the bottom. There we go. And it falls right off. Let's put those to the side. Alright, now it looks like we gotta take the fan off. And I gotta go get a socket. Found a socket. Hope it's not reverse threaded. There it comes. There we go. Just needed a little enthusiasm. Alright, lock washer off. I'll leave that there. The fan should come right off. I might need some enthusiasm to get this off too. Come on. I'll get this off first. There we go. Alright, now this. There it goes. There, it's off. Alright, looks like we got 5 bolts there. Are these all the same? I don't know. They look the same, but I'm going to keep them separate just in case. Oh, there goes my whole socket. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now this should pop off. Might have to give this a little enthusiasm too. Cross your fingers. Oh, I gotta take the gas tank off too. Oh well. Let's see, that's a Torx T25. Yep. Torx. I know it's a little hard to shove a camera in there, so I'm just going to do it like this. There's not much you need to see. I'm just taking bolts off. It looks like there's still a fuel line connected. Alright, here we go. Now it'll come off. In theory. Oh, there's another bolt. It's not going to fit. How about the Torx? Nope. What the heck? That's not ideal. Alright, I got a little pick here. Let's see if I can get anything out of there. Oh, there's lots of junk in there. That bolt is not tight, I can tell you that. I might just leave that out when I go to put it back together. Looks like I could fit something in there now. Yep, there we go. There we go. And there's our recoil. And jiggle out a bunch of junk with it too. Alright. Everything aside, here we go. Looks like there's nothing holding it on except for this, which is quite fortunate. Yeah, it's... I'm gonna give it a little goo. Good stuff. Try to get it under the spring if I can. I'm gonna be careful that this doesn't fall out, but so I can still see what I'm doing. That's a lot better, but I'm still gonna tighten that spring up a little bit because you can see it still kind of hangs out a little bit. I can hear that spring moving in there now. So I'm just gonna keep giving it more. Just keep letting it do its thing until it eventually decides it wants to cooperate. Alright, so at this point, it's not really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tension the spring down there. So do that. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a little groove right there. And what I have to do is I have to move that the whole string through that groove. I have to stick it in that groove there. I'm not sure how well this will show up on camera, but I'm going to try my best. Stick it in that groove, like that, and wind it up. Oh, there it goes. Good enough. Just kind of wind it up like that. So it goes through the groove like that. And pull it away. Stick everything back together. And it should work just fine. There, see it tighten the spring now? So it's got its tension back. Yeah, it works good now. Alright, I'm gonna give it a little more of the good stuff before I put it back together. Rest in peace to my fingers. There we go. And while I'm out here, I'll do the pull start pulls too in here. The little quickie things. They actually seem pretty good, but I'll give them a little squirt. A big squirt. Yeah, works good. Alright. I'm going to put it back together now. Which way is front? It's like it'll go on like this. We'll get it on there nice and good. There, it's on there. Alright. Putting those back together and work on something else. Alright, got it all back together. I'm going to keep the tube off for now just because I'm going to work on it and the tube will get in my way, but as you can see here, I'll take the spark plug out so it's easier to... Yeah, I already had the spark plug out earlier. As you can see, it goes all the way back in now without my help. Even all the way back here, goes all the way back in. That's what I want. That's good. As I use it more, it'll clear up too. Alright, what's next? Spark? Alright. I'll show you how I like to do it. Put the very foul plug back in here. Now what I like to do is I take an alligator clip and just clip it on the plug. And then clip it on wherever's accessible. I'm not sure where that's going to be this time. I guess the carburetor, just hook it right here. And just watch for spark. I gotta see how I get it to the camera. Alright, can you see that? Alright, let's hope you can see that. Let's see, we got a spark? Okay, now I can't see it. Be helpful if I could see it, you know? Does not look like we have any spark. Oh, no. I saw it. Nah, I don't know. Does not look like we have any spark. I just saw a little spark. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot some two-stroke gas in there and see if it pops off. If it pops off, then I know we have spark. If it doesn't, then I have a parts engine that I could steal a coil off of. Just for fun, I went with 16-to-1. This is how I like to do it. I like to take like an old Pepsi bottle or something and poke a hole or drill a hole in it and just squeeze a bottle. Comes right out the top. A little bit is all you need. And where is my spark plug wrench? There you go. I doubt I'm going to need it, but I'm just going to tighten it. Let's give it a shot. I decided to move on the ground for this one, but we'll see what we get. I have doubts, so I doubt we're going to get anything, but we'll see. Let's see. I guess this is just the throttle. I'll give it half. Choke it off. I guess that answers my question. I guess we got spark. Alright. Well, I guess everything else is working. I guess it runs, right? It smokes a bunch because of all that oil I shot in there. Because I put the 16-to-1 in there. And it takes 40-to-1, but alright, let's take a look at that carburetor. Alright, I just wanted to just take a little look at it, but it looks like this carburetor is missing the primer bulb assembly. And I have my parts blower I can use. I can get primer assembly off of that, but we got to go through this carburetor anyway, so and take it off. That fuel line has seen better days. It's actually not terrible. No, it's not pulling apart. I think I am going to replace that though. That is not the color it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be clear blue type. Alright, here's my carburetor. It looks like we've got a Zama. Focus. Focus. There we go, you see? Right there, it says Zama. Alright, so I know what kit to put in it now. Pop the gasket off. And, ooh, look at that. Where the screen goes. That's not supposed to be like that. Here, where's my pick? On the floor. Here. Look at all that in there. Sheesh. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and replace that screen too. But I'll open up the other side too and see what we can do. To the bench. Alright. Don't mind the other stuff over there. I'm working on another one. But let's open up this metering side here and see what we got. See how stiff that diaphragm is. I'm sure it's going to be hard as a rock. Watch it's brand new. Nah, I doubt it, but we'll see. Single screw. There we go. Alright. It's actually not terrible. No, that's bad. Here, where's the microphone? Here, listen. I don't know if you can hear it crickle like that, but when it pushes down, it's supposed to come right back up. But I don't know if you can see it, but it stays down. It goes down, it's supposed to pop right back up, move, but it does not move at all, so that's got to get replaced. Alright, let's pop our needle, pin, and lever out. No, it's not a lever, it's a lever. I need a smaller screwdriver. No. Oh, someone stripped that out. Oh, great. Let's see if we can use a, oh gosh, this is going to not be too good. See if we can. No. There we go. I got it. It's coming out. Okay. So when you pull that out, a bunch of things come out. You got your lever, not a lever, a lever, and pin. You got your needle, just like in your float carburetors. A little spring to counteract that diaphragm. And that screw. Alright, so in here looks like a check valve there. Pull that out. I'm not going to though. Alright. Yeah, that's a, they call those Welch plugs. What you do is you drill or hammer those out. Pop them out, and there's a bunch of little holes in there. Same with this one. And basically, you can't reuse them. You gotta throw them away. You gotta hammer a new one back in there. But I'm gonna leave those right in there. Alright, and I gotta pop that screen out. However we can. Sometimes I have to poke through that. Oh, there it goes. And there's that screen. If I get the camera to focus. Trying. Well, anyways, even if it doesn't focus, it's really dirty. Really nuts. Oh, it's nasty. But yeah, in there, the fuel, what it does is it goes in through here, and then it pops over here through like a check valve. That goes under here. That's the diaphragm too. And it goes through there, around here, in there, and that comes out here, and the metering diaphragm pop, 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 limits how much fuel goes into it. And these screws also limit how much fuel passes through all that. So, and of course, these screws are limited by the government because they're not just regular flat or Phillips screws. You can't just turn it like that. These are special screwdrivers you have to buy. You can buy them, but they're hard to find. The only place I could find them is Chinese knockoff, but I found them, so. Alright, let's get to cleaning this. Before we do that, this is my parts carburetor, and this one is complete. I'm not sure if I should try to save this one or the other one, but that primer bulb has seen better days. The good news is, I'm getting some in the mail today. So, let's hope that they come soon. If not, I could just use this one. That'll probably work too. But, I'm going to pop the this one off here, because there should be another diaphragm. A main diaphragm, a fuel pump diaphragm, built-in one. So, I gotta use these screws with it too. I have a feeling someone tried to fix it, thinking that the carburetor was gunked up, and they threw stuff away because they were too angry on how to fix it. Here we go. That one doesn't look too bad. Just for fun, I'm just going to try to do the first one. And here's those diaphragms, which are probably going to be impossible to get off, of course. So here's the diaphragm. That's the fuel pump diaphragm, and the gasket. Hard as a rock. There you go. And here's our primer body. Right there, that's our primer base. That's got to get nice and supple as well. There's check valves in there. If they don't work, you're out of business. So, I'm going to stick these in the ultrasonic cleaner with some carburetor cleaner in there, and soften those up and get all the passages out of where they need to be. So, oh, actually, I want to say this fits. This fits. These are the same carburetor. I just want to tell you. Where does it say? I don't know if it does say. Here we go. Yeah. W12B. It's a C1U. I don't see the, yeah, I guess it's a C1U W12B. But yeah, that's the same carburetor. I'm going to use this one. I got to cut this fuel line off of here. There we go. Oh, that's falling apart. There we go. I got that fuel line off of there. Alright. Cleaner. I had another one cooking in here from earlier. So I'm going to put that back up on the bench. Save that for later. Grab our carburetor here. Put the basket back in. We got our carburetor here. Let's open all the flaps on it. Actually, let's half them out. Yeah, I want to stick it in like this. Actually, you know what? I'm debating on what side I want to stick it in. Let's just stick it in like this. Into the cleaner. And the primer base. I'll stick that in this side. Primer bulb side down. Alright. Let's let that go for half an hour. Alright, as I was saying earlier, those fuel lines have seen better days, huh? Now I have to debate if I want to try to fix this sticker. Just try to glue that back on there. Yeah, you can't see. Yeah, see this sticker's kind of peeling off there? I want to try to maybe clean behind there. Here, I got wipes right under my feet. Just try to clean under there first. I think I am going to try to super glue that sticker back on. Just trying to make it look nice, because, you know, it doesn't right now. Now that's better, but I can always bleach this later on, but this will start me out. That sticker's seen better days too. That's fine. I'll just glue it right back on there. Just like that. Just with some super glue. And it'll look nice again. Pop that gas cap off. There it goes. Is there anything in there? Oh, there's some nasty stuff in there. I shouldn't have taken that out. Gotta grab my power tool. I'm gonna take that. Oh my gosh, I keep up on the stand. I'm gonna take that right back off and just clean it off. Put some, what I like to do is I like to put some nuts and bolts in there, and maybe some acetone or lacquer thinner or some sort of thinner like aggressive chemical. And then put the, where did I put it? Put the gas cap back on there and just shake it about and then dump it out, and a bunch of nasty stuff usually comes out, so we're gonna roll with that. Alright, let's see. Is this T25? It was, right? Alright, off those. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of nasty stuff coming out of there already. Looks like the filter's still in there. I doubt you could see it, but there it is. It's a little nasty. I'm going to save it for later. Yeah. There you go. See that brown thing in there? It's supposed to be white. Alright, let's go get some sort of aggressive chemical and clean that out. Alright. I filled it up with lacquer thinner is what I end up using, because that's what I had the most of. I'm going to drop some nuts and bolts in there. 4 nuts, 4 bolts. Put the cap on. Give it a shake. You know what, I might cut that line off first, because stuff might come spewing out of there. Nah. I don't have scissors right now. Why don't I go get some? Yes, I should use cutters, but I don't have cutters that are sharp. I do have cutters, but I've used them too much and they're not sharp anymore, so. Alright. You gotta shake. This is where I dump my stuff out, because I'm not trying to grow anything here. So let's see what comes out. Yep. A little cleaner in there now. Yeah, there was just a bunch of junk in there that it wasn't clear anymore, that liquid that came out of there, so. And there's that fuel filter. But well, put it back on, I guess. Alright. You want to do a few lines while it's off, or you want to do them while it's on? Why don't we just do it? I don't know. Let's do it while it's off. I gotta go find the right sizes for that. Alright, let's see if those are the right size. Alright, here's my first one. This is a smaller one, because there's 2 holes there. There's a smaller one and a bigger one. It looks like that is the right size. It's not going to fit right in there because I got to slant it, but... Yep, that one should fit too. Alright, let's give myself a little room here. Let's see, where's that, I'm going to do the return line first. Because there's two fuel lines, because on the carburetor, one, it sucks up fuel, obviously. But then when you push the primer bulb, it cycles through fuel through that carburetor. And when it cycles fuel through that carburetor, it goes in the primer bulb. When it comes out the primer bulb, where does it go? So that's what that second line's for. It's for to put that fuel that's already cycled through back into the tank. So that's why when you push the primer bulb, sometimes you see fuel squirting out of the other line. So I don't know why, but most people use the smaller line as the intake line, and the bigger one as the return line. So I am going to do that. So what I do to get my lines in there is I cut my fuel line at a slant, like that. It makes it easier to get it in the tank. I'm going to take the gas cap off. Let's move my stand a little closer. Put it down a little bit. There we go. Okay. We got one fuel line here. And this is going to be fun to get in there. I'm going to grab some pliers. Alright, this is what I use. You ever go to the dentist and they use those, when you're a kid, you ever go to the orthodontist, they use those locking little things to put your rubber bands in? That's what I have. So, I'm going to try to grab the fuel line in there. This is going to be hard to put on camera, so I'm not going to use the camera, but... Alright, I got the fuel line. I gotta push it through. There we go, I got it. And I'm gonna bring it out, the big hole here, the gas cap, the fill, and I'm just gonna cut all that. The slant I put on it, because it's gonna look ugly in the tank, and it's just gonna, you know, decay faster, screw up the fuel. So, and there's no reason for me to have that there. It's just gonna look funny. There we go. So I'm just gonna cut it off right at the bottom here. There we go. And there's no more. See, I took that slant I cut off there, I took it off. So I'm just gonna bring the fuel line right back up here, leave a little bit in the tank, just a little bit. And figure out where it's gotta go. Here, there we go. See, I gotta figure out where the fuel line goes in relation to the carburetor. So you know what? I'm going to leave that fuel line on there. I'm not going to do anything else with that. So here's the other fuel line I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that one now. So this one... Oh, I got to cut a slant first. There we go. I might have to cut another slant in order to actually, yeah, because I have to cut more of that fuel line in order to actually grab it with the pliers. There we go. So you see, I cut two slants there, so I can just stick it in the gas tank more, because wait for that helicopter to go by. I do that so I can get it in the tank better. So you see, I cut the two slants there, and it's nice right by the gas fill. That's where I can just get in there with my pliers, because I don't have curved pliers. I could just use straight pliers. and just put it right in there. Oh, there it comes off. Grab it again. Gotta feed the fuel line out because I have to put the filter on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to reuse that filter or just put a new one on. I'll have to blow through it with some, I was going to say carb spray, but I'm out of that too. Blow through it with compressed air just to see if I can clear up that filter. Here we go. We've got the fuel line out of here. There we go. Cut that slant off. And where the heck did I put that filter? Just like everything, I'm losing it. Filter. Yeah, that has seen better days. That's not the best, but I'm going to see if I can clear that out. Use my wipey here. Just clean the top of that off a little bit. Maybe I'll dip it in the ultrasonic cleaner, the carb cleaner, and just wipe it off with that stuff. Because this is kind of corroded too. You know what? I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just going to get a new one. New fuel filter. So I'm just going to... this fuel filter is a little bit different design. It's got it's for a bigger fuel output, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna get it on here. I might have to heat the fuel line up a little bit in order to get it on there, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to expand that fuel line, maybe heat it up a little bit. All right, just give it a little nice little heat. Yes, it's windy out today. Just kind of see how it kind of curled back there a little bit. You don't want to go too heavy on this because then it's not going to stay on, but kind of curled back a little bit there just to kind of get it on. See how the fuel line's a little bit softer there now. I kind of twist it on. I want to get it past that one barb. Just work with it and be patient. You want to do this right instead of do it the cheap way because it could come off and then clog your carburetor again. So take your time with this. A lot of times if you buy aftermarket stuff, it will sometimes not fit perfectly, but it will still work. So that's what this is. This is because what I do is I buy these in bulk. So I don't have to buy, if I were to buy an OEM one, that will probably be like $6 a piece. This is probably like 60 cents a piece. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so what this does is it serves two purposes. What it does is it sinks to the bottom of the tank and kind of weights it so it picks up fuel from the bottom of the tank. When I could think of words. No, when the fuel level goes down, if it's at the top of the tank, there's still going to be fuel in there, and it's going to act like it's running out of gas. So you got to give it enough slack so it's all the way at the bottom of the tank, and it's a filter. So that's its two purposes. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this on camera very well, but I am going to try my best. Yeah. Twist it. This might be too much, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Alright, that's too little. So I gotta pull it back in. It's hard because I can't really see it either. Just push it. There. I'm gonna call that good enough. And we are going to put the fuel tank back on there. With those 3 screws that I probably lost. There we go. That one seems to be stripped. I don't think I did that. Oh well, we have 2 others. You know what? I don't even think I put that on right. And there goes the tube. Yeah, I didn't put that on right. There, that's better. It's not stripped now. And yes, I know I'm using an impact to put it on, but I'm being careful. Don't judge me. I know I should be using a hand tool. I'm just saying, if you're doing this, use a hand tool. Don't be dumb like me. I'll loosen those up a little bit to get the 3rd one on. There we go. Now I might use a hand tool. There. And these Torx drivers, if you want, these are also flathead screws, but they are a pain in the tuchus to use with a flathead screwdriver. I use these Torx drivers here. If you want these Torx drivers, they're like 10 bucks. They're like 15 bucks for 5 at Harbor Freight or something, but they're cheap. They last about a year if you're using them every day, like I am. But these are good. All right, so I am going to go check on that carburetor, see if it's done yet. Maybe I'll glue that on while I'm waiting. All right, looks like the carburetor has 4 minutes left, so I'm gonna glue this sticker back on while I'm waiting for that to be done. Get these fuel lines out of the way. JB Super Weld, good super glue. It's so good that it can't even get the cap off. I just had to give it a little persuasion. Alright. Tilt it up. There we go. That should be plenty. You don't want to go crazy with this stuff. I've learned that the hard way. Seal it off. And give it some time. I'm going to go ahead and do this little doohickey here. It just seems to be hanging out a little bit. There we go. I seem to have revived that sticker pretty well. There you go. Looks good. Alright, set you back down. Set the blower back up. Alright, what do you say we go look at that carburetor now? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, we're done. Oh, we got some steam. That's how you know it worked. There you go. Alright. They're still smoking, they're so hot. Here we go. Alright. Let's dry some of this off yet. Let's make sure that all of these levers still work. Sometimes the heat expands them and they don't work right. But yeah, they still work. Good. Alright, how about the primer base? I'm going to use this primer bulb. I'm getting new ones today, so I'm just going to use this one. If it fits. That's from a Walbro carburetor. I'm being too silly here. That's not going to... Oh yeah, it does fit. It squeaks too. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to steal a primer bulb from another carburetor. Turns out I don't have any other carburetors, so I am going to use this one here. Primer bulb. Alright. I'm going to go clean them out. Whenever I buy like carburetor repair kits for these, I always get these little tools here. These are just like little wires, just braided wires. So I stick them through everything and hope for the best. Clean everything out. You know, it works. There we go. I'm not going to screw with that too much because there's little rubber check valves I don't want to poke a hole through, so. Let's see here. This guy, I need a smaller one. This one's a little stiff. There we go. This is the primer line. There it goes, coming out there. That one's clear. I'll go through it a few more times because this one always seems to get clogged. Alright, I'm not going to touch any of those. I will touch this one. That's the one that goes through the screen here. I need a smaller one, like a really small one here. Come on. Alright, we got a tangle. Here we go. There we go. Good enough. Alright. Stick it through here. I'm going to stick it through this side. There we go. It should come out the other side. There, it's coming out. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's dark in there on camera, but it came out. It's right there. Here, come on. Can I get it in a little more? No. Okay. Well, it's out. You're going to have to trust me on that one. Alright, let's do the fuel inlet. That one's clear. And it goes in here. I don't think I'll be able to get this one too good with a wire. We can try. It's got to go in here, out the side. There we go. Here. You know what? That's where, how the diaphragm's pumped. There's a pulse that comes from the crankcase. It goes in that hole and comes out this hole. So you have to make sure when you put it back together that that's all clear and whatnot. That one's clear. There should be one that goes from here to here. Sometimes I can't find the holes, and that's okay. The ultrasonic cleaner probably did a good enough job. I'm going to call that one good. Call those all good. That one's good. I'm going to call all these good. And we're going to go find a rebuild kit for this carburetor. Alright, this is what I have. It's for a RB29 Zama. And that's what I'm going to use. So let's make a pile for the old parts and the new parts. So old parts over here. It's a screw, we want to keep that. Old, 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 old. New. No, let's put all the hardware in a different pile over here. Alright. Let's go ahead and open this carburetor kit up. I left my scissors at the bench. Alright. Carburetor kit. New parts. Alright, we don't need the little information. It's the part number if you want to rebuild a carburetor that's on that same meter. It's if you want to rebuild kit, it's an RB-29 Zama. Alright, let's see here. Let's do... You want to do this side first? Let's do this side first. Alright, so we need to find the screen. Here's the old screen right there. Find a new screen. There's a little bit of a difference there, huh? So what I like to do is I like to take a really big screwdriver or punch or whatever. This is a Torx one that just fits in there. And I like to set the screen on top of here, flush, make sure it's not sideways, flush. And then you want to take that screwdriver, just put it right in there like that. There you go. And make sure that it's not sideways or that anything's exposed. And you could still see light right through that. You know that that's good then. That's a good screen. Alright, we got to find the diaphragm and gasket for that. So, here's our old one. That was on the other carburetor. It looks like we have two new diaphragms here. We have to figure out which one was ours. It looks like this one here. This one's ours. So garbage. It's a new diaphragm, and then the old gasket. I think we have only one gasket. No, we got two gaskets. Alright. It looks like this one because it has the little slit in it. Those look identical there. This one is old, garbage. So there's our diaphragm and gasket. So on this side with the screen in it, you always want to remember the diaphragm goes first. That's something I always struggle with. So there you go. And then the gasket. And then I gotta find the primer base here. Just slide it on there. If everything lines up right. Maybe I'll put it on the primer base first. So the gasket on the primer base first, the diaphragm on the primer base then. That way, it's the diaphragm's first on the actual carburetor. I'll put it on upside down. Come on. There we go. Alright, so then we need the primer bulb, purge bulb, whatever. Get it on there. There we go. And we need the this cover here that goes on top of that, like this. There we go. And our screws. Screw those on. All right. This is half done then. That's a good sign when it squeaks like that. You want to put your finger over the top one. Just press it, make sure no air comes out. All right, and then we'll do this side here. Because we didn't take any of the Welch plugs out, we don't need the hammer. So let's see here. We need the lever, not the lever. The spring and the needle, right? So here's the new pin. The lever, not the lever. The needle and the spring. All right. So we're gonna slide the spring, the pin in the lever, not the lever. Oh, there it goes. I would recommend, if you're doing this yourself, to use the old lever, not lever, because these have to be adjusted. And typically when you, alright, sorry about the interruption, but I put all that back together just like it was. Put that spring in that hole. Just be careful it doesn't get lopsided. You want to slide all that in. This is hard. You might have to do multiple attempts. Just use common sense here and slide all that in. Similar to that. Make sure that the needle gets in there nice. And then you want to grab the screw with the tapered bottom and the flat top. And that's the one you want to put in here. Okay, so you see when I do this, you see how I got to get the camera to focus here because this is important. You see how it's kind of bending down, that little tab there? It's supposed to be flush with the top, and to do that, I use Zama's adjusting tool here. So what I'm supposed to do is run it across the top, and it has to be just touching, and it's not even close. So I have to bend that up until I get it to touch. Possibly with a small screwdriver or something. There, try that. So as you can see now, I got it just perfect. Come on, camera. It's not touching, but it's just about to touch. It can touch, but it has to be barely touching. But it barely just edges off that. Right there. Come on, camera. There we go. So you see that? It just barely edges off that. It's very close, but that works. Now we have to find a diaphragm in the gasket. So it looks like this is our diaphragm and gasket. So I think I could separate these if I wanted to, just for a more clear reading. There we go. Alright, we gotta find the new ones. So we have 2 diaphragms. And it looks like this one is our duplicate here. And I'll move it a little closer so you could see, hopefully. There we go. So you see how those diaphragms there are just about duplicates? You have to make sure that all the holes line up exactly. If it doesn't, then you gotta find a new diaphragm. So this one's garbage. This one, save for later. This is the one we want. Same with the gasket. We get 2 gaskets. And this is the old one. Those are the new ones. This one's square. Not literally. I mean, yes, literally, not. But these are our diaphragms, gaskets. This is the old one, this is the new one. So that's garbage. And this one on the carburetor, the gasket goes first, not the diaphragm. So the one with the lever, the lever, not lever, the diaphragm goes first. And, nope. The gasket goes first, sorry. Then the diaphragm. See how that's nice and soft and supple? Okay, and then we have our little cover here. We want to stick that little peg there, a little right there, in that hole. Get it through the both of them. In there. Slide it, and get it across like that. Then we have our 2 little screws here we can put back in. And it's back together. Now, when it's back together, you want to put your finger on the other port, the one closer to the center of the carburetor. Pump the primer and see if it kind of acts like it doesn't want to pump anymore. It doesn't squeak either. And then put your finger off and see if there's any suction on that. So there's suction on it, so you see, listen. You hear that? That's the suction. So you see how it, right there, right here, that noise, when it's come back out, put your finger over it, and it kind of acts like it's sucking gas in, but it's sucking air in. It kind of has a suction. That's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. You still pump it, but let go of that and it should have suction. So this primer base and carburetor is good. And by the way, I just want to say, if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, soak this in carburetor cleaner overnight. That should help. Alright, back at the blower. We have our little air cleaner cover here. And the gasket that we have to line up our hole with. Alright, so that gasket is actually directional. There's little pegs on here that you have to line up with the gasket here, like this. And that's how the gasket goes on. I'm going to put it on with everything else though. So what I'm going to do, sometimes there's a gasket here. I'm actually going to put one on because there is none. Because the only way to turn this engine off is to choke it out. So I want to be able to get that good connection. And I'm going to go grab a gasket for it. Alright, I got a gasket. This is not required. There doesn't have to be one on, but it works. It fits pretty good. So, and then after that, I believe it goes on. Where's my little cover here? So it goes on like that. Carburetor goes on. Alright, the throttle's on the left. Alright, I need the gasket. And make sure those holes line up. Make sure that the pegs line up too. You're going to want to slide those into the holes there. And yes, you're going to want to use a hand tool for this. I'm not stupid. And then put those 2 bolts back in that came off. You don't have to go crazy tight, but go pretty tight. Alright, now I gotta hook our 2 fuel lines back up. So, I want to cut those. I'm going to give this one a little extra slack in case I need it. I gotta grab my scissors again. Alright. I'm going to give this one a little extra slack in case I need it. Like I said earlier. There we go. Same with this one. Actually, no, not this one. This is the return. I'm just going to cut it. There we go. Alright, so, this is something people get confused a lot. I want to tell you this. The fuel line that goes to the fuel filter goes on the inlet that's closer to the center of the carburetor. The return goes on the primer base, or the one closest to the outside or primer bulb. So, in this case, the thinner line is my fuel filter line. So I'm going to slide that on there. It doesn't have to go all the way on, but it should go pretty far on. Good enough. And then this one here. There we go. That's good. Alright, what do you say we put some gas in it and try it then? Well, here, I gotta put the air cleaner back on. And that air cleaner's not... That air cleaner will last a few seasons more. Probably should use a hand tool for this too, because this bolt doesn't last forever. And this is a Torx and or flathead screwdriver. Oh, there goes my... And again, I recommend the Torx because the flathead bolts on these are a pain to work with. Alright, I think I got something wrong here. Yeah, something's a little wrong. I think I might have put one of the bolts that's supposed to go in here in the gas tank. Yep. This bolt's smaller, so this bolt's going to go in there, and this bolt's going to go in the gas tank. Oops. I should probably go put a washer on there too, because that's not very, that's just plastic. It'll break through any minute. You don't need a lock washer or anything, just a little washer from an assorted washer kit. That works good. And it'll stabilize that bolt more. So slide that back on. This is a T25, yes it is. Still doesn't want to go on. My goodness. I figure out what I'm doing wrong. take the bolt out, it should go on. No. Oh, yeah, it popped out a little bit. So you see on this cover here, it's kind of tapered to one direction. Not the band, but you see how it's kind of got pushed back a little bit. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to bend it back a little bit, and if it doesn't bend back, I'm going to use the other one from my parts. Maybe I'll even heat it up a little bit, but we'll see what we can do. There, I popped it out a little bit. That's better. So again, that's a reminder. Do not make this bolt tight. Let's actually see if it fits. Yeah, it fits on there nicely now. So, please don't make this bolt tight. All it's on there for is just to hold this little cover on. And it's just screwing into plastic. Don't make this bolt tight. Or screw. That's all you need, just like that. Just to hold that on. That's all you need. And it, everything works. So, I gotta go find some gas, because I'm actually out of gas. I'm gonna try to get whatever I can out of here. And remember, 2-stroke gas, 40-to-1 mix. It says it right on the thing here. I'm just gonna take the whole thing off, just see if I can get some in there. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna get. That's hardly any. I have to go. What I use non-ethanol gas, and there's very few stations around here that have it. The closest is about 25 minutes away. So I keep a 5-gallon tank of non-ethanol gas unmixed, just in case I need it for anything. I'm going to cheat and use some 32-to-1. It might smoke a little bit, but oh well. 32-to-1. Now, like I said, it takes 40-to-1, but I'm going to use 32-to-1 because I don't have any 40-to-1. I don't know if I saw this earlier, but it looks like there is a piece of something in the gas tank. Yep, old piece of fuel line that's falling apart. It's just disintegrating. Good thing I'm not using that. Good thing I replaced the fuel lines. Alright, that's going to be good enough. Clean this up a little bit. Gas cap looks pretty good. Put the gas cap back on and see if it primes. Yep, you see the gas is going up the line. It's going in the primer bulb and it's coming out the other side. You see it? It's exactly what I need it to do. Just pump it. Get those check valves moving. Get everything moving and working. There we go. Old fuel line. New fuel line. Alright, what now? I guess we can see if it starts. Yeah, why don't we see if it starts? If it starts, I may have to adjust the carburetor. It may not run correctly at first. And what I'm going to have to do is adjust those. Remember those 2 screws I was telling you about? Right under there. Those 2 screws. There's a low and a high. They adjust the low speed fuel that's going in and a high speed fuel that's going in when it's full throttle. So I may have to adjust it. I'm not going to talk about that now. It's really complicated. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't buy those tools. But, see if it starts. Alright, see if it starts. I'm going to go ahead and stick that tube back in there just in case it starts if we want to blow something. There we go. That's just one-way clips. Alright. Choke. Let's give it half throttle. Start. Full choke. And see what it does. Half choke. Pretty close. I gotta adjust the carburetor. And as you can see, I don't know if you could see or not, but it would run off the choke, but not regularly. So the way to fix that after you've rebuilt the carburetor is you want to adjust it. So that's what I am going to do. Let's turn that low speed half a turn. Oh, is that am I using the right tool? I think so. That's pretty gunked up. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to turn it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to turn that. Well, we can try. Alright, I may have to switch everything over to that other carburetor. This doesn't look good for adjusting it. My screwdriver is not fitting. It's because it's rusted out. Maybe I'll try another screwdriver. I know why it's not fitting, because I got the wrong screwdriver. Yeah, that's better. Oh, I'm so dumb. Alright, let's try that. It's got good compression, so it's... Alright, I tuned the carburetor pretty good. That smoke's just because I put 32 to 1 in it. But here, look. It turns off pretty good, and then the choke works too. Where to turn the choke, full choke. It kind of hiccups, and then put half choke. Worked good. So that concludes our will it run on our weed eater feather light blower. Will it run? Yep, it runs. Alright, so thank you everybody for watching, and see you on the next video.